Oh, Halloween. So we're not going to see. Well, that sounds like a toilet.
Could have been.
Toilet flushing. All right. We're going to jump right into it because, because we're excited. We're ready to roll.
And because we can.
Well, so I don't know what the name of it is. What is the name of the bourbon we're drinking?
Very Old Barton. 100 proof.
It's 100 proof.
And exceptionally expensive. I cannot believe we sprung for that.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, I was pretty surprised when you told me the cost of it because, I haven't taken a full swig of it yet. I've taken 2 small tastes, and for 100 proof right off the bat, it doesn't seem really hot on the tongue.
No, it's not at all.
It doesn't burn, and I'm almost thinking you're lying.
No.
It tastes like it's like 80, 90 proof.
Well, the bottle says 100 proof.
So they're lying.
Could be. And it was a whopping $15.
Yeah, that part blows me away. Oh, look at that. 75% corn, 15% rye, 10% malted barley.
That is interesting. 15% rye, and it doesn't taste like dough. So we got to figure out what that dough taste is.
Yeah, we need to figure out, is it a certain type of corn or rye that they're using? Or barley? It could be a certain type. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought it was a wheated beer that you guys, wheated bourbon that you guys were complaining about the doughy taste.
Sometimes it is.
Well, sometimes they have that doughy taste in it, so maybe it is it. Maybe it's a variation of the corn. But this stuff, Barton, this one tastes all right.
It does. I like it a lot.
It tastes for $15. Is this available here in Texas?
Yeah, that's where I got it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This may be my party pleaser. I may just pick up a keg of this.
Yeah.
A case.
Yeah. Well, we're having our annual Halloween party at the house, and once again,
I don't know if they make the tankards in them. They had the.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they of the 100 or the 86 proof.
Oh, yeah. Good point. I'm not sure.
Well, you could buy 2 750s for freaking $30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I want a pony keg.
Just a full keg. 55-gallon barrel.
Just put a tap on it.
There you go.
Well, not 55, but maybe I don't know. They make half kegs.
I'm sure they do. Garrison Brothers, you said they use small barrels, didn't you?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So this very old Barton, and I did some research, and it's allocated in some areas, or it's hard to find, and people hunt for it.
Really?
Yes.
Hunt for this booze?
For this specific one, yes.
Huh. So it's warming, slightly sweet but muddled with unclear flavors with the palate.
I wonder why they would sell it so inexpensively.
Well, because it says with unclear flavors. That means we have no idea what that taste is. It could be
butthole.
That's really sweet. That might be butthole.
It does taste like
vanilla. Is that where you were going with that?
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or it was, I know exactly what that is. I can't tell you.
All right. So it says several drops of water amp up the nose tickle briefly before adding a tinge of sweetness in the form of plain simple syrup.
Water optional.
Yeah.
Water optional.
Of course it is.
It's very easy to drink.
It is. And, it doesn't have a lot of depth and stuff like that, but it's good. I like it.
No, it doesn't. You're right. Now that you mention it, it doesn't pop like a lot of the, I guess that's what the sacrifice is. When it's 115 points on that bad boy and it comes in really hot, but you get a bouquet of nose flowers, all different types of cherries and stuff that pop. This one, it's not popping very much. Right. What kind of sign language we got going on there?
I was just trying to tell him to scroll up or scroll down, and I don't know which one it is. Anyway, let's see. Overall, it says a decent all-around bourbon on the dry side, but good balance. Additional ABV over its siblings has brought additional robustness and concentrated flavor and a much well-needed extra sweetness.
Even if it's no longer the 6-year. Oof, man. You're not supposed to inhale it. That's what that was all about. It says 100 proof on there, and you're absolutely certain, Mr. Producer, that says 100 proof, just in case Jeff is blind.
It's right
Yeah.
there. That's what we have. Very old Barton 100 proof.
Pretty hard to miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but down below it says for all the backgrounds start with very old Barton 86 proof.
For all those who want to start with the old Barton,
This one is a little
confusing.
confusing. There are actually two very old straight bourbons that are 100 proof. One says bottle in bond, and the other one doesn't. So it's pretty much.
From what I read, is they took the bottle and bond label off of it. I guess it doesn't meet the criteria anymore. I think it has to have an age statement to be a bottle and bond, and it doesn't have an age statement anymore. It was 6 years, I believe. I think it says there it was 6 year. 8? I don't know. Anyway, I like it.
No, it said 6.
I know we've seen it at Total Wine, and you pick it up sometimes, and you look at it, you're like, have we ever tried this? Have we ever tried this?
And plus the wrapper kind of makes it feel like you're buying a candy bar. The way the print is, I don't know. That's just me. It seemed kind of.
I mean,
It
especially
didn't seem like a bourbon we'd buy.
well, and the price. I mean, we looked at the price and we're like, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
because we know that there are some very expensive
you
ones
go.
versus some, relatively, affordable ones. That that does not mean quality. But when you have a price that low, it I'm sure it scares off some customers.
Could be, unless the people who know, right? Like, I'd get this again.
The producer
Absolutely
put
would
up
get
on the
this
screen
again.
that to be bottled in bond whiskey must be the product of a single distiller in a single season, aged for a minimum of 4 years, in a federally bonded warehouse, and bottled at 50% ABV. So you know what that means when they say it needs to be in a federally bonded warehouse? It amazes me how much money goes back to the state and how much control they have over that. I heard they don't they pay like 50% taxes on that booze?
Oh
Well,
my
on
God.
bourbon.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think we did say that, but I don't know.
50. I wouldn't even say it was like 58%. It was of the all the sales go to the state.
Well, some states really control the allocation,
That's kind of bullshit.
like bad.
Allocation? You mean
Yeah.
distribution?
The distribution, yeah, saying you get this, you get this, you get this. That's controlled by the state. Whereas in Texas, if you can get it, you get it, right? If your buyers are good enough and your distributor is good enough, you can get the stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of distributors are kind of got their hands tied up too. It's kind of like some of these bigger beer producers, for example, like Anheuser-Busch and Coors, and like if you're a local distillery, if you make your own beer, it's very difficult to be picked up by one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for example, they have what was that Francisco in McKinney. That's not-
Franconia.
Yeah, Franconia. I knew it's Franconia. Like for them, they weren't able to get on the ticket to get distributed from Benny Keith. I mean, they can now, but but there was a time where they couldn't, and it's just like, what the hell? Why not? Why
Right.
can't we order that and sell it at our beer bar?
Right.
And it turns out that we ended up being able to sell it simply because since they made it in McKinney and our business was in McKinney, we were able to sell a McKinney beer, and they couldn't say shit about it, and we could deal
Right.
business directly with them.
Also, Benny Keith would have, if let's say your store was in Plano,
No, then you cannot.
so Benny Keith would have said, "We're going to stop delivering to you now."
Yeah, they just shut you out. And Benny Keith does more than just booze. I mean, they serve plates, silverware, flour, all the stuff you need for a restaurant to be successful.
Right.
It's kind of bullshit. And so, I see what you're saying about when they allocate and authorize, and they could stunt some business.
Well, didn't
more,
you-
than,
Knock 'em
more
right in
than
the
stunt.
trash.
They can make a
Close,
business totally go out of business.
Well, didn't I don't know if someone here said it or one of the people at Total Wine about Yingling. The reason that it took the time that it did was because of the distributors.
Yeah, they were, probably bounding together to keep them out,
To keep them out, right? And I don't
and then
know.
giving kickbacks to the distributors.
Yeah,
To
well,
not let them
like I
carry it.
said, it's like Anheuser-Busch and Coors.
Right.
All those folks, they know they don't hold a candle to us. So they, hey, man,
Well,
look.
put it this way: when's the last time you bought Miller? I know, granted, we have some Miller here, but we've been buying the Yingling
Right.
regular lager and the light now.
Yep. That's my
You know?
go-to now.
You know, we're not. Well, you can't get your Miller. I'm sure if that was still around, you'd be buying that.
That's a
but,
good point.
But you know, it's. I used to get the Miller Lite, and it's been ever since this launched. And when was that? August, September. I haven't purchased any. It's been all Yingling.
Yeah. Crazy.
I like it. Grew up with it, so.
Can you? What did you do with that? The very old Barton link. Do you still have it up? Oh, okay. Because it was describing some sort of warehouse collapse. I was curious to see what it was talking about there. Yeah, scroll down. It talked about.
The warehouse collapsed in June.
9,000 bourbon barrels
Oh my God!
fall
What a
as the Sterling
nightmare!
warehouse collapses. Look at that treasure.
So that's going to. When was this?
Talk about a money shot.
Oh, that's 2018. So that's about 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's
Three
getting
and a
hard to
half.
find, because they had 9,000 barrels tank. So
Oh, it says that 9,000 barrels were damaged and spilled into a creek, which killed over 800 fish.
no, they just got drunk.
Is that their fault for drinking that much?
They were pickled.
They had a choice.
Yeah, no shit. 9,000. So I wonder if it was all. I don't. They also make the 1792 that we like.
Right.
So it may not have all been this. It could have been a mixture of.
Oh, look at that that aerial
Of all
picture
that.
right there.
And you know,
You should do that claim.
that'd be an easy one.
Oh my God.
Just say, "Can I have this barrel?"
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. That would have definitely happened.
I'm gonna rent a truck with a trailer. Also, old brands. Also, this is a Sazerac brand. Yeah, interesting.
So they were showing a very wide aerial shot of this huge wooden framed barn warehouse. And I don't know, it said 9,000 barrels perished. So by the size of what we saw that fell, it's probably holds about 25,000 barrels in there, you think?
It looks like half of it fell.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh my God.
probably about 18 to 20,000.
Insane. Oh, I imagine that the fire crews that showed up to help contain the spill and stuff were
Getting their thermoses out, filling up.
that or just like heartbroken, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Well, did it catch fire?
No, but they
No.
were called in to help with the recovery effort.
Boy,
Yeah,
I bet you
well-
could smell that for miles.
Yes.
I bet everyone's just like, oh yeah. Well, there's a in Cincinnati. There's a distillery in Cincinnati,
Okay.
Canadian Mist or something like that. It's I can't remember which one it was. And sometimes when you drive by, when they were distilling it and brewing it and everything,
Yeah.
oh, it smelled good. It smelled really good. I don't
Yeah.
know if they were bottling it or what, but it was certain times when you drive by on the highway, and
Yeah. You could smell it.
it was it smelled really really good. I can't remember which distillery it was, but it was good. It smelled good. And right next to it, down the street, there was another factory that made extracts.
Okay.
So you drive by that, you'd smell the vanilla
Oh, yeah.
extracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then in the town I lived in, we had a glue factory.
And that smelled amazing.
It always reminded me of
What was it? Would they make like horses? They
Yes.
grind up horses?
yes. They would take horse carcasses and truckloads of them. Every now and then you'd see a big truck. They have a tarp over it, but every now and then you'd see like something hanging out of it. And
They slaughtered them for this?
well, no, I don't know.
Were they raised and
where,
slaughtered for?
I don't know.
I bet you they were.
I don't know where, but I mean, the meat was already pulled off and everything because you don't make the glue out of the meat.
Right.
But when they were cooking, it had an aroma to it,
Oh.
and it kind of at the time I was always like, it reminds me of macaroni and cheese, kind of a pungent
Ugh.
cheese smell. At
That's
least
good.
that's what it reminded me of. People
Wonderful.
always disagree with me, but it smelled.
Yeah, I bet.
So
And I hear paper mills are awful. They
They're
smell
terrible.
awful.
I went to school up in Ohio and in Athens, Ohio, and we'd go to Chillicothe, and Mead, I think it was Mead Paper, had a paper factory there, and it stunk so bad. I don't know how anyone could live there. It was so bad. I guess you get used to it,
Yeah, you get used to it.
but it was.
Yeah, I
smell it.
guess so.
Oh, it's so bad.
I mean, we're able to have a podcast here.
Well, that's your ass.
No,
We'll never get used
No, have
to
you ever
that.
smelled a paper
that's
factory?
not what I heard. I heard it was your ass.
Have you ever smelled a paper factory?
No.
Oh, it's so bad,
Yeah.
and it stinks. And you're
I
thinking,
had heard
why?
that.
And I was like, could you imagine working in there?
Oh.
If it's this bad, 10 miles away from it, as Sean rips ass.
Did you really?
No.
What?
What do you think it smells like inside? You know,
Yeah, no kidding.
Tart cheese. What'd you
No.
call it? Pungent cheese.
pungent cheese. That was the melted horse.
Yeah, so the
So-
only other example I can think of is people who work at tire plants. Or even not even tire plants, like discount tire.
Well, how about,
Well,
how about
like they can't get the
Tabasco or
smell.
what is that?
They can't get the smell of the rubber.
Well,
out of their
I
clothes.
worked again during college. I had a job every summer, every Christmas. I had a job, and one summer my summer jobs always changed. And one summer I worked for a temp agency, and then my jobs changed. You know, sometimes I worked a job for a week, and it was just simple labor stuff, right? You know,
Right.
I'd go and I'd cut the lawn at a warehouse or something like that. But they offered me a position at Cooper Tire.
Mm,
And it was up by us, and it was going to be like a 6-week thing. Would have gotten me through the rest of the summer. They
right.
said for 6 weeks, and they had over 5 million tires in there.
Wow.
And I got through the first day, and I was like, I can't handle this. I was sick,
Right.
and so I went up and told the guy, I was like, I can't handle the smell. I was like, it's making me sick. I was like, I'll finish the week out, but I can't. Because that's what he asked. He goes, can you at least finish the week out? I was like, I'll finish the week out. I worked from, I think, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And my sole job was to work with this lady. She worked the forklifts. These forklifts were just flying around, and they had pallets. Just probably so my job was basically restack every damn tire in the warehouse
Okay.
because they were consolidating. So
Okay.
they wanted to put more in there. So they had these tires. They'd have 4 stacks, probably 6, 7, or 8 tires high, depending on the size.
Okay.
So my job was this lady would pull all these pallets down, and they're probably 6 pallets high. So it
Right.
was tremendously high. And she pulled them down, line them up. My job was to pull all of the tires apart and then throw another stack in the middle. So there were 5
Right.
stacks of tires on this one pallet.
Right. Instead of 4.
Right. So she'd
Okay.
pull down the 5, right? So, or whatever it was, and 4 at a time, and then I'd carry tires over and I'd throw them in the middle and restack
Yeah.
them. So I was going to do that for 6 weeks.
That explains your shoulder problems.
Could be.
Man, you can have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of toxic fumes come out of tires.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I don't know how you could work there.
Yeah, mercury sickness.
Yeah. But
I mean, there's a whole laundry list.
yeah, so the lady I worked with had a permanent, like, industrial tins unit on her back.
A what?
One of those electroshock things, because she was injured. A forklift ran into her,
Oh.
shattered her hip, and she's back doing her thing, but she's in constant pain, so she has this constant thing shocking her side, basically. And that first day I was there, when I was going out with her, she's like, if you were ever just walking around and you hear wood cracking, run, because they have avalanches there
Oh my God.
where the pallets collapse because there's so much weight on them. So the pallets and entire walls,
What a horrible thing to say.
What a horrible thing to say.
and it happened when I was there. A freaking avalanche, an entire wall, thousands of tires came tumbling down.
In the 1 week you worked there,
It happened, yes.
you could have been killed.
Oh yeah, I wasn't.
Wow.
There are different sections, so I was in that section, but they called everyone over there. So
So
they
then
had-
everybody had to work to clean it all up.
Yeah,
well, they were like,
restack it.
guess who stacked this one? The new guy.
Yeah.
No.
You damn jackass.
we
You're trying
had-
to kill us.
we hadn't worked that section yet, and
Sure.
it was a mess. I mean, you've seen those videos where they actually hit on those big tall, and they all come crashing down.
Mm.
That's what it was like. It was a mountain of tires.
Yeah,
How
but
is that-
those videos usually have some culprit, like Jeff.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, because that's what she said. She goes, if you hear wood cracking, you'll hear it.
So
If
they
it
have
is-
these huge shelf units made out of
That's-
wood.
No, they're just pallets,
So they,
Stacked
wood
pallets.
and then they would
How does
stack.
that seems like a violation of something?
I don't know. They were just regular wood pallets. Maybe they were reinforced. I don't know. But they were just wood pallets. They look like,
Yeah.
you'd buy at the store or get at the store. And like I said,
Wow.
however much those tires weigh, right? Which each tire weighs, 40 pounds or so, 30 pounds? Yeah, that's what they were stacked on. Just like that. And but my job was to pull
see
them
how
out.
those are reinforced now?
Yeah,
OSHA standards.
yeah. They were not back then. This was 30 years ago.
Yeah. Look
Wow.
up
Damn.
tire avalanche. I bet you'd find something.
You probably would.
So
Yeah, it sounds like it was fairly
What a
common.
nightmare.
It sounds like it's fairly common, and but it was a mess. I'd get home and I stunk. I'd get home. I was living with my dad. He's like, God, you stink,
Yeah.
and I would go straight to bed.
oh yeah.
Because you had like a headache.
I had a
and-
headache, and I was stacking tires for freaking 9 hours.
Oh man, I imagine you were just toxic.
Yeah, felt like shit. I'd shower and I'd just go to bed at like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Man, you should. It's got the EPA. According to the EPA, it's got benzene, high levels of benzene, mercury, styrene, butane. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a
Sounds bad.
yeah. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, arsenic,
Okay, that sounds bad too.
among several other chemicals. Heavy metals and carcinogens have been found in
Yeah.
the tires and the shit that you inhale.
Yeah, to this day, I have a problem. Like when we're at Costco in the tire center, I have a hard time going in there because of the smell.
You were there for 1 week.
1 week.
Well,
God.
it's because God gives you tolerances,
Right.
and He rations them out.
I
And
guess.
Jeff cashed all of his tire tolerances
I guess.
In
in
1
that
week.
week that he
Yeah.
went there.
In 1
I
week.
can't stand that smell.
And survived an avalanche.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I remember the lady that I was working with had to go see her doctor, so I had like 3 hours. And they just told me to go sweep the floor or something like that. So I was sweeping the floor, and there's mazes, right? So they have these little hallways of tires just stacked to the ceiling, 50 feet up. And I found a spot, and I was just sitting back there, and I found a spot, and I just sat down. I was so damn tired. It was near the end of the week. I was like, screw it. So I sat down and got a quick nap. But I was sitting back there going, if this falls, they'll never find me until they uncover it.
They'll never find you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, didn't we have somebody start the other day?
Because that was like, there was a wall and then like probably 30 feet of tire behind me,
Oh,
just stacks of them.
and stinking.
Oh, and it smelled so bad.
That's
And you couldn't
crazy.
escape it
Right.
because you're in this huge warehouse full of over 5 million tires. So
Wow.
bad. I do not recommend that position to anyone. So
There you go.
just so you're aware.
Well, they probably have all kinds of masks on.
They made today. They didn't back
Yeah.
then. Yeah, there was nothing. I mean, everyone was just flying around.
Well, that goes to show in any environment in like the old day, like coal miners never
Right.
had anything, and people are working just not what do you call them? The gas plants. What do you call those?
Gas plant.
Natural
No.
gas plant.
Petroleum.
Where they do the not distilling, but they do the
Refinery.
refineries and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Oh, awful!
Yeah.
And I guarantee they weren't wearing adequate protection or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I imagine a lot of those people that worked there for years, I bet they have some serious health problems.
Oh, for sure.
Just cancer or breathing issues
Yeah.
or whatever. I was there for a week, and like I said, every day I was done, I felt like crap,
Yeah.
just nauseous, just sick, and I was just like, I'm glad I look back. I was like, it was an experience. I tell my kids about it. They're just like, whatever, Dad, whatever.
You mean your temporary, the fact that they would put you like anywhere type of thing, or
Well,
just the
tire
tire thing?
place,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
And they'd laugh at me. I was like, whatever. You didn't do that. How hard is that? I don't know. Let's see you do it.
I
Bunch
mean,
of lazy assholes.
I worked at a movie theater, which was like the best, right?
Smell like popcorn.
No, I didn't smell like anything. I mean, I didn't pick up any smells from the theater, but I got to
sure
be
he
an
stunk.
usher, and I got to. I mean, it was always.
He had that
was fun as
nasty
hell.
teenager funk. You know,
He
he probably
probably
didn't
did.
shower. He had zits
He's
all
wearing
over his
polyester.
face.
He's wearing polyester. Nothing breathed.
That's back been before where they had butt wipes.
Yeah,
He was
nothing
just a
breathed. So it was
fucking
like
wreck.
it's like a biodome dome down there.
So
Yeah.
it turns out I had a massive blind spot. I think I had no idea
That's why none of the
until
girls,
right now.
That's why none of
Yeah.
the girls talk to you. Like
Yeah.
That's where I met my wife.
there's some
They
pungent
called you the
cheese.
Oh
biodome.
my God, what's wrong with you guys? It was the best job ever. I got to watch free movies all
maybe,
the time.
Maybe her olfactory nerves were down.
Anyway, I did get sick of it one day.
He
One
would get drunk and then he'd play a game of hide the meat stick. You know.
Ooh.
one Christmas, I because I would work there. I'm ignoring all the hide the meat stick. So 1 year in high school, and then every Christmas and summer
With his friend
during
Jason.
college, right?
Correct.
And then once I got really tired of working there for some reason when I was getting older, because maybe the high school kids or something. Anyway, so I decided to work somewhere else. Just one Christmas, and I worked at Toys R Us. And they
Really?
put
Right.
me, it was wintertime, and they put me in this like makeshift lean-to built on the side of the building where people would come up and hand you tickets and you had to give them the video games,
Right.
right? And all the customers were, I mean, they were horrible. I was
Oh, yeah.
freezing my ass off because we had no heaters in there.
Give me my Tecmo Bowl.
Yes, they were incredibly rude. Because first off, I had to look for them. I didn't know where they were. Right, so here I am going, okay, and then as soon as I finished that shift, I drove over to the movie theater where I knew everybody and the
Right.
manager, and I said, "Can I have my job back? Because I'm not going back to Toys R Us." One day, one and done.
Really.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it was mainly because of the rude customers. I couldn't believe it.
I worked every Christmas. I think I started my senior year in high school over Christmas break. I worked at, there used to be a toy store called KB Toys.
At KB Toys, yeah.
KB Toys. It was inside the mall. There's inside the Tri-County Mall in Cincinnati.
Yep, I remember that one.
And I got, and again, I worked there every Christmas because I got to know the manager. And every Christmas I'd come back. I did it for 5 years.
Right.
5 years, and I experienced that same thing. So I did everything. I'd get there early because I was one of the older ones. I was in college at the time,
Right.
so I could get there early during the week and stuff like that to help unload the trucks and stuff like that. And one of my jobs was to unload the truck, find the video games,
Right.
open them, and stick them behind the counter.
Right.
Because people knew when the trucks showed up, and they would line up outside before the gates would open. And then it was just a free-for-all, right? So I'd be behind, and I'd work the registers. I did everything. I did the stock, the inventory, the registers, a whole 9 yards. And when you're behind the register and these people are fighting, essentially.
Right.
I want Tecmo Bowl was the big one, I remember.
Well, I mean, it's like a what do you call that? Black Friday.
Yeah, well, that was like, well, yeah, Black Friday was big, which
Right.
it wasn't as big back then as it is now, but it was
No,
still
but I just mean
big.
the tension of people jockeying for position
was.
and
Oh, yeah.
just being ridiculous.
It was, and it was like that a lot. The closer you got, you'd get people coming up like the day before Christmas. Yeah, you got this? No, I don't.
Right.
You should have checked 3 months ago. Right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I experienced the crazed parent looking for the video game. That's when Nintendo first came out, Super NES, those old ones, right? So we had it. We showed because if you didn't have the Tecmo Bowl, they'd be like, "Well, I got to get something." They're like, "What do you recommend?" Well, Spider-Man.
I
A lot of
remember
people
going to
buy that,
KB.
right?
They didn't have like the
Right.
mainstream toys. It seemed like they had.
Well, they did when I was there.
Yeah. No, they did.
Garbage Pail Kids.
They had everything.
Yeah.
It just seemed like they had a different strain of toys. Like if
Yeah,
you went to
KB
Toys, if you went to Toys R Us, it seemed like they had a different variety of. Maybe there was just more.
Well, yeah, Toys R Us is a lot bigger than.
Yeah,
than
maybe
KB
that's all it
was
was.
Toys. Yeah, KB was just a little shop in the mall, and they had all the name brand stuff: Star Wars, He-Man, Barbies.
Why did Toys R Us go out of business?
They expanded way too much. There's actually a video out there, the rise and fall of
Toys R
Toys
Us.
R Us. Yeah, and it shows you how many stores, and it goes, and it goes,
Because
and it
it's
shrinks back down.
because it's not like there's any competitors.
Amazon.
Yeah, well, now
Other than
it's
Amazon, there you
in
go.
Walmart and some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
But they had a great
There's a lot-
advertisement. That I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys
Yeah?
R Us kid.
Jeffrey the giraffe.
and their selection was
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd go in there when the boys were small.
To trains to
And just kind of
He knows
make the
all the
wish
words.
list, right?
He knows all the words, Jeff.
Gee whiz.
Well, it was a karaoke hit.
I don't want to grow up because
No.
maybe if
Yeah.
I did,
No, it was not a karaoke.
I wouldn't be a
He
Toys
mixed it.
R Us kid. More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to
Yeah.
be a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the whole thing, man.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. Thank you, Sean.
Jeffrey the giraffe. And of course, they spelled Jeffrey incorrectly.
Well, it depends on
It's
what
the
part of the
German
country you're
spelling.
from.
No, that's the gay,
That's
gay
Joffrey.
smelling. That's Geoffrey.
Hmm.
Well, they had to put a G in there for giraffe.
I know, but still.
It's Joffrey
It's
the
the incorrect
giraffe.
way. You say that's a German way of spelling it?
I'm sorry.
You say that's a German way of spelling it?
I was just threw
He
that
was
out
just
there.
Just because
talking.
you're from Germany.
Is he?
Well, he says he is.
My family. I have lots of. I'm fourth generation
You're
German. maybe?
Germanic. You're Germanic.
As far as I know, yeah.
You're part of the horde.
Yeah.
The Huns.
No. Not the Huns.
Just the horde.
Oh my gosh. So there is Halloween coming up.
Yes.
Did you guys get to carve pumpkins?
No.
No, my kids are gone.
Well, we carve pumpkins.
I like carving pumpkins, which means you don't have to have kids to do it.
Right.
But no,
Yeah.
we didn't do it this year.
We carved pumpkins. Terry went and bought like 8 or 9 pumpkins, one for everybody. And
Oh, it is this weekend. That's right.
yeah,
Sunday.
we carved them we carved them last week. The kids really did good. I'm telling you. I know the kids are older. They're 19 and 18, 19, 20 and up. But it was cool to have all those pumpkins on on our steps coming up to the house.
Yeah.
I think there was like 7 or 8 different pumpkins.
Are they still there?
No, excuse me. They all got rotten. I mean, they got rot quick because
Yeah.
it's crazy because like
Well, it
a
got
week
warm
ago,
out.
it was like 50, 60 degrees all the time. And well, I mean, for a stretch. And then hell, it got warm.
Yeah, it got up in the upper
In
80s.
fact, my wife put them in these plastic bags and put them in the front of the yard. And I was like, why'd you do that? Well, you should just freaking throw them on the bushes and just let them gel.
Ugh.
Fertilize.
Oh man, those things rot quick.
That's gross.
You get lots
No.
of bugs,
Yeah, but
lots of flying gnats and
it's
flies,
in
and
the
it would
front. If it
stink.
disappears,
good smell.
no, it goes quick.
I used to work in a
It's
pumpkin
worse when you
factory.
put them in a plastic bag and let them sit in the front for a week, because that's what I had occurred to the backyard.
And then it started to like the air pockets started getting ballooned
Well,
up.
it's just nasty because there was about a quart of liquid, undefined
Yeah,
liquid in the
It's like
bottom
an
of the
orange
bag.
and black and green liquid.
This is pumpkin
Mr.
juice.
Producer, I requested him before he takes off for the second half of his day. He doesn't go to bed till like 4 a.m, 5 a.m. But I said, hey, after the podcast, when you come home, please take the bags and move them to the back. And just to give you a heads up, Mr. Producer, I moved 2 of the 3 bags for you.
Ah.
So now you only have to move 1.
Are they heavy?
They're
Or just
too
awkward because you don't want to like. get
They're
juice
too
on-
heavy for the bags in which they are in. So when you pick them up, you might want to
Great.
gingerly pick it up and don't
Don't
just
swing
it.
yank
So if you
it.
hear wood cracking,
don't
run.
stress it.
Yes.
Don't stress the plastic because it'll break on you for sure.
Yeah, some folks are really good at carving pumpkins.
Yeah, we were never that
I am
unbelievably
not.
creative.
I
There's a
don't know.
lot of crazy pictures of.
Man,
Well, now they have these kits
Yeah, I don't like the
that
kids.
just give me a big old butcher knife. You know, the old fashioned jack o'
since I
lantern.
was in construction, I always used my drywall saw. It's a keyhole saw basically.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
would
a good
work
one.
well.
That would
And
be a
it
really
works
good one.
extremely well. I mean, you can cut anything out, circles, and you just wham, and it's done instantly.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's like the perfect thing. Then they started, like you said, those little kits, and you got the saws. Yeah, they work, but they don't have a lot of integrity as far as trying to go up and down.
The little itty bitty ones.
and you get freaking forearm burn. And you sit there and pound away on a fucking pumpkin with that little song.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, we never got that creative.
No, it's kind of like sex. Fuck that. I just go on for a few thrusts and get the shit cut. You know.
What?
Hmm.
A few thrusts.
Really? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Yeah, so few is what?
Thank
How
you,
many
honey.
licks does it get to the center of a tootsie roll?
How many licks?
God.
1, 2.
3.
Wow. That's really gross.
That's a good commercial. You see it pop up every now and then on TV today.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
So
you see it every
randomly.
now
Where
and
the
then.
hell did that come from?
Yeah, it's like the old school with the owl. So it was good.
I remember him.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Halloween, I know growing up I did the stupid little mask with the rubber band thing. We did that when I was smaller.
Like a Roy Rogers or Lone Ranger cat?
No, it was like Snoopy or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like a mask, not a hat.
like the plastic mask.
Yeah, the mask with the little
whatever
holes for your
face.
eyes.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Absolutely.
Do they still have those today?
I don't. That's
They
good.
do.
Do kids still wear them?
Well, I mean, they sell them in the store. I mean, but it wasn't like it used to be. I
Well,
mean,
now it's like I need the best thing. I need to look like a
Yeah, now
freaking
it's
dildo
like-
or something
no.
in order to go out.
A dildo?
Yeah, things have
Well, you have to
things have
stretch the limits.
changed tremendously. It's more realistic. The masks are out of this rubber, and it's got to look real. Before, like when we were growing up, it's just like, hey man,
Yeah.
just pick a freaking
Spider-Man
mask.
mask and,
Yeah.
in a
And you-
cheesy ass little
And
leotard.
it comes with in a package. It's prepackaged.
Yep.
It's like, what size are you? And boom.
Yep. Yeah. Now it's these full things, and
What are you gonna be? What are you gonna be? I mean, I don't.
I was Snoopy. I think I was Snoopy one year. Remember that?
And nowadays they're also expensive too. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
hard.
that's
It's hard
the
for
other thing.
parents with little kids to like. You know,
Yeah.
before it was
Scroll
like
up a little bit. That was that an AIDS spore? That's a coronavirus. It's still the same thing. It's a virus.
really?
So
That is
I remember
crazy.
when I got to probably middle school, near the end, probably 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I don't think I did anything past 8th grade. I was always a bum,
a bum.
just a bum. So I would get some of my dad's old clothing.
Right?
So
And-
hold on. Are you saying this was when you used to dress up? You used to be a bum,
Correct.
but after that, you didn't do that.
Oh, I didn't go trick or treating anymore. Probably after the 8th grade, right? when
Yeah.
I was
After that,
12,
just became
13.
natural.
Yeah, I was just a bum anyway.
Right.
So I probably stopped about when I was. How old are you in 8th grade? 12.
Right.
13.
No, I think that's right.
So that's when I stopped. But every year I'd
Eighth
get,
grade?
I'd be the
13.
bum, and I'd get one of my dad's hats because back in the 70s he still had hats when people used to wear hats.
Right.
Old pants that he wasn't going to wear anymore that you'd rip holes in, and then my mom would get a piece of charcoal and make my face all dirty, and that was my costume.
That
for
was
like,
it.
For
That's
like,
cheap.
for like 4 years in a row. Yeah, we didn't spend any money on it.
Right.
So
That's perfect.
yeah.
Still, the best I've ever seen is the Jack Daniels and the Marlboro Boy. Yeah, you have to see it. You'll find
Marble.
it. Marlboro.
Marlboro.
Marlboro. Look up costume Jack Daniels Marlboro.
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 Yeah, there's some really creative
Marlboro.
costumes out there. People really do. I saw one where this guy looked like a zombie that was attacking him, and it was part of his body.
There it is. It's
Oh, the baby.
it's the greatest costume of all time that I've ever seen.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I'm
he's,
sure he got
he's a little
grief.
pack of cigarettes and he's a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Look at the Trojan. Look
It's
at the
so great.
condom pack.
Oh, on a
He's
little
got a condom?
kid.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Oh, come
This
on.
little kid
That's
dressed up like
awful.
a
He has no
lubricated.
idea.
It says lubricated.
And ribbed.
Ah, that's awful.
Oh, look at the muscle girl. Yeah, there's some really good, a lot of creative people out there, I tell you.
Yeah.
A kid has got a little pot plant. I'd say one of the coolest things I liked is where they step inside this costume and it looks like there's someone carrying them. You know,
Yes.
Yes.
you know, and I
Yes.
think I don't know where it originated. I remember seeing it on the Benny Hill show. You know, where they would it would look like this old guy's carrying them, but there's not. You know,
Yeah.
it's freaking hilarious. Yeah, like something like that. They got an alien, so it looks like the alien picking you up and running away with you.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah. So that, and like I said, I probably stopped doing that 12, 13, however old you are.
I don't
And
remember
then,
when we stopped. I just don't remember. I mean, our kids, they did it till I think they did their senior year.
Well, then you stop wearing costumes and you just walk around with a pillowcase
yeah.
and then just score as much candy as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I think both my boys stopped around 8th grade as well.
Right.
There was a period where the kids became a certain age where we just had a tremendous amount of candy all the time.
Yes.
You know, and we basically procured it all during Halloween. Because
Right.
I would remember I'd
And it would
carry
last
around.
all year.
Yeah, I'd carry. I'd have a wagon with me because it only takes a couple times. When you have 4 kids, you do that 1 year, and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not carrying all this shit again.
Right.
Because you
Right.
got, you got to carry them. One's crying, two's crying, bags of candy. Tara's gone. I'm like, no, I'm not. I got a wagon. I got a wagon, solved all those problems, and there was room for a cooler.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
Man, we haven't done that in years. Trick or treated.
Well, we're doing it Sunday, and you'll be hunting elk, and Jeff and I
Nice.
will be
yeah.
we'll be in the front yard tossing down some booze and listening to some music. I got a Halloween list I've been
Curating.
yeah, throughout.
You guys
I mean,
suck.
it was the one
You could
from
join
last
us.
year, but I
Yeah.
was taking a shit several times this week on my Amazon music account,
Nice.
and I was just adding songs. That was that's good. That's good. I've got the one that Asian Squid Game thing from Netflix.
I'm about halfway through that.
Well, I'm just on the first
kind of
little
losing interest
segment
in it,
where
but
you know
anyway.
she's like "Dun, wait, ding, dun, wait, dun," and then she stops talking, and then if you move to the gun shoot you.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me.
Well, it's basically red light, green light. You know, that's just one little part of it. It's red light, green light, and if you move, you fucking get shot.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't need to watch it now.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah.
much the gist of the whole
It's
show.
taken me a while to get through it because I struggle with the
It's
each
painful.
episode. It's just like, you know, it's interesting. The games are interesting, but everything in between is just like,
Yeah,
Kind of a
I don't
beatdown.
care
It's
about
painful.
this. Yeah, it's just that there's too much.
I mean,
character
everybody's
development.
talking about it. That's for sure.
Well,
well, they're talking about how stupid it is.
yeah.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Well, it's the
I don't
shock
know.
and value of the game part of it, but there's
Gotcha.
no substance whatsoever.
Right.
None.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
No.
there you have it.
Yeah. So I know in where I grew up in Cincinnati, the night before Halloween, we called it Damage Night.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. So that's where a bunch of juvenile delinquents
Bunch of
went out
hooligans.
and juvenile delinquents. These these guys that were the long in game for them was they're going to be criminals. So that's where they started out there,
Yes.
or they made that decision that night.
I mean, do they really go around vandalizing?
No. Well, we didn't, right? I mean, we partook,
All right.
but it's
Oh.
called Damage Night. But we didn't damage anything. We didn't break anything. We didn't break windows.
They
we didn't-
they added things like toilet paper, perhaps maybe
That's
a few
right.
eggs.
So we didn't egg a lot. We
I'm
didn't-
sorry,
we-
but I'm sorry. Did you egg? Yes or no?
no.
But you said we didn't egg a lot.
A lot.
So
Well, that was
so it's conditional.
it's conditional.
I see.
We didn't really egg anybody.
Hold on.
Didn't say I never
really
did
Did
it.
egg them.
we didn't really
You sort
egg
of
them.
fake egg them.
Yeah,
we may
with
have done
real
it. We
egg.
may have
We-
done it once or twice over
We
the
may
10
have
years.
thrown an egg in their
Yeah.
general direction.
Right.
We didn't really egg them a
But
lot.
that wasn't our claim to fame was egging.
Yeah, wait, you're not talking to your parents back when you were
And,
10 years old.
Yeah, hashtag
Right.
I
Well,
I,
I don't
didn't
remember-
I didn't really egg them a lot.
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, it's just two.
I just a tip.
What the hell? Did you egg them or no?
So the big thing was at least for us was what we had something called Tic Tacking. And
Tic tacking.
Tic Tacking.
That sounds odd.
Hmm.
So what it is it's deer corn. You know, the hard corn, the
Okay.
feed. Well, we had a local feed store in there, and we go down there. I remember one year we bought I think a 25-pound bag of this stuff, me and a couple buddies. And again, we're probably 11, so we had to have one of our parents drive us down there. And they're like,
Right.
what do you want to do this for? We come out with a big old bag of corn. And they're like, really? They knew what was going on. And
No, but no.
well, the parents did.
So the parents were in on it.
Not really.
They
but
condoned it.
they're not. I guess they did.
how the hell would I would have never known if you would? Hey, let's go to the store and get some feet. I'm like, all right, you're an idiot.
Well,
Let's
why
go.
would I buy?
Well, hold on. What'd you exactly not do it a lot? Use it for?
No, we did it a lot. Especially on damage night. It was the only night we did it, right?
Well, what do you use it for? What'd you do?
Well, you plant corn in their yard.
Oh, you pour corn everywhere.
No, you don't. So what you do is,
I didn't think. Okay.
so what you do is, it's really hard in big corn.
Okay.
You carry around, the brown paper bags, lunch bags. So you fill your thing up and you carry it, and you grab handfuls at night and you throw it against their doors and their windows, and it makes a frickin' racket, and it's loud as shit. And then you run because they come out and yell at you. It's basically, we got tic-tacked, and it's freaking loud. You're sitting there, all of a sudden this corn is racking up against you. So it's not really damage, it's just an annoyance is what it is.
Right.
You cracked all these windows that.
No, nothing broke.
Well, you don't know that.
You don't
Yes,
know
I
that.
do. This corn
Well,
would
how
not
do
break
you
a
know?
window.
You were running away.
ran.
No, the corn did not break any window.
Well,
You
I'm
said it
sure.
was hard as shit.
It is, but it's corn.
Well, someone picked up one of those corns and chewed on it.
It's
Probably
like
broke their
throwing
tooth.
sand against the window. It's not going to do
It's
anything.
not sand. Those are like called pebbles.
Those are rocks, aren't
yes.
they?
Now they're
Well,
They're little tiny rocks.
they will not break your
rocks
window.
break windows.
No, sand won't. So anyway, our 1 year, this was the last.
I've never seen a corn the size of a sand granule.
No, they're big. They're big corn.
They're big corns.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a sand.
No, but it's not going to break a window either.
If you shot it out of a potato gun, it would.
Well, we didn't have potato guns.
It's a corn gun.
We had a handful of them.
Well, you could shoot sand granules out of a fly killing gun. It'll kill.
And a fly.
Yeah, okay.
But
I
it-
heard it doesn't really kill the flies.
What does it stun them?
Yeah, well, it just
So if you stun them and go up to them, like pump another 5 shots into them, it wouldn't kill them. Phew, 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 phew.
wow.
No, I heard
So
it kills them.
violent.
Double tap.
I heard they don't really work. That's what I heard.
Interesting.
Anyway, this was the last year. This is the last year we did this. So it was probably 11, maybe 11, 12. And
Is that when the police caught up with you?
no. But there was a new.
He's on a Hell's Night.
There's a new
What do they call
neighbor.
it? What time was it?
Damage. Time.
Damage night.
Damage night. What do they call it? The list?
The Hunger Games. Oh, Purge.
No,
Purge.
you're on a national list, watch
Oh.
list.
Oh,
So
for sure.
we just hit the houses in our neighborhood, which is stupid.
America's
right?
Most Wanted.
So we just hit. We were in a cul-de-sac, and we
Teenagers
hit all
gone wild.
We'd hit all the houses, and we hit this one. They were a new couple that moved into the neighborhood, so we're like, ooh, we got to get them, right?
Oh, well,
So-
how young were they?
They're probably in their 20s, late 20s.
Wait.
Yeah.
Don't rush us.
And they can't wait to
And,
have
we
kids because kids are just great.
Well,
So
no,
was this a big house?
no, it's a little house.
Was there a pool?
No,
Oh, so she didn't walk around in her bathing suit.
I had never seen her before.
Yeah.
I'd only seen him walking in and out of the house.
Oh, so you've been watching him.
Correct. At
Wow.
an
Why would you watch-
11
Are you wanting to live
Why are
one
you
of
choosing to just watch him? Why would you not?
Are you living one of your perv stories
think
through
he
his
is.
story? Are you projecting your pervness?
I heard
Onto
that was
his
what
story?
you like to do.
No, I don't think so. I think you're
Yeah.
projecting pervness.
No.
So
I
anyway,
don't know. I'm sensing it.
yeah. So anyway,
So hold on. What did you do when you were 10? Actually, you know what? Let's save that for later.
I have no idea. I wasn't. You know, when I was 10, I wasn't allowed out like that.
I
Oh, yeah, we'd
wonder
be out.
why.
we'd be out. We'd have
I
we'd have to.
wonder why.
Yeah. no
Mom,
kidding.
did you
Because
see
my
that?
my
Did you
parents
see that
were
hot young mom move in
responsible.
over there? Do they have a pool, Mom? Can I go watch them? That was you.
Whoa.
Can I have a drone?
And then your mom was like, you can't leave the house.
She's like, here's the
Right.
money for the drone.
So anyway,
Drone.
so me and my friend at the time, I think his name was Dave, and
And you were 10.
10.
probably 10 or 11.
Yeah,
You know-
harassing.
you know what's-
harassing adults.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to hit pause real quick. 10 years old.
Yes.
All right. I am just now hearing shit that our kids did at 10.
I know. They
So-
hid all of it from us.
In our neighborhood, this is the scariest thing that I've heard them do. In our neighborhood, they have in a lot of neighborhoods that they had storm drains.
Yes.
Our kids were in those storm drains at the age of 10.
Yeah, so was I.
Not these.
Well, no, but I was in probably smaller storm drains.
They were exciting. They were mysterious
Yeah.
and deadly.
I know, but it's not.
They're like modern caves.
I would have done the same thing, but it's different when
I know.
I think of it as a dad. I'm like, what the fuck were my kids doing in a storm drain?
Right.
And then when I heard that It's like they've got my inflatable raft or little boat, 2-man boat, and they went far. They went all the way to the other side of Rollator.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what I would have been thinking is, where are these kids' dad? That's what I would have asked. Don't
And
these
where'd they
kids,
get that raft?
yeah, don't these kids have a dad?
They
Is
skipped
his dad drunk somewhere?
school.
What's his dad
They
doing?
didn't go to school. What was it like? Actually, where were they?
It was a weekend.
Producer, this is you.
It was a weekend.
When were?
Hello?
Oh, don't you?
It wasn't him. It was his older brother.
No, it was Stephen. It
What?
was Stephen and Preston.
Yes.
No bullshit.
Yes, it was.
Austin was there too.
I've heard the story.
You need to turn that microphone
No,
on.
okay, I can tell you. I wasn't cool enough to go with them.
Yeah, but you went
Yeah,
down
he
there.
didn't make the cut.
You went down
No,
there.
I didn't.
You've never been in there.
No,
Never.
no,
Not
No.
with Emily.
no. I was too scared.
Has Emily gone?
I know what's under there. I've
Trolls.
evil things like
Evil.
rats or something. I don't know.
It's
I
other
was like,
10-year-olds with
dude,
big
okay,
bags of
Dad,
corn.
you gotta.
Wilbur.
I was the youngest there. You think I would survive? I would like. You guys have fun. I'll wait at the entrance, looking at ducks next to the pond.
Oh, that's where they entered.
Yeah, you
I
had-
was one of the people that called into the city
Yeah.
screaming at them
We
to
have,
put bars on that thing.
Next to
They have bars on it now, don't they?
They
next to the
damn do,
duck
because I
pond.
was just like, I just heard that my kids went down there and I threw a freaking fit.
And they're like, where were you when your kids were wild?
I'm motherfucking working.
So anyway, yeah, our kids have done some stupid stuff. So anyway, we did this. We threw it against. So we ran across the street, and where I grew up, the driveways were in the front, and the driveways went down because it was 2 stories, and the garage was underground. So
Right.
the driveway went down. So we booked it across the street, and we were looking over the thing. All of a sudden, this guy, the door bursts open. He comes speeding out of the house, beeline right for us, yelling at us.
Oh, no.
So we're 10, 11 years old. We're like,
shitting your
holy
pants.
shit. So we take off, running down the middle of the street, and he's yelling at us all the way down. And
No,
Where?
continue.
We're doing an emergency
yeah.
bourbon handoff.
And we started getting close to my house, and my friend, we were running down the street together. My friend peels off, runs down my
But it peels off. In
They're
we
running
split
away-
up.
They're running away from the irate
The,
young
the irate young guy
young husband.
who was extremely fit that I found out later. And
telling you, he's creeping on him.
and
He was an Olympic sprinter.
So we were running down. He was a high school sprinter. So he was running down the street chasing us. My friend peeled off, went down my thing, and then slid underneath a bush in my backyard. I run past my house. The guy picked me to follow.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, holy shit, what am I
I'm
going
gonna
to
get the fat kid.
Yeah.
So-
Let's chase the pudgy kid.
So I'm running, and I'm just like, where am I going to go? So I make a left. I go around my house because I was like, well, there's a tree in my side yard that dips way down. Maybe he'll run into it. I know it's there. I'll duck under it. Maybe he'll run into it, and then I'll just get away. He didn't hit it. So he ducked under, but I think it slowed him down a little bit
Oh my God.
because I kept running. And in all the houses that were on that street, we had there big woods right behind us. We didn't have any houses. There was a bunch of woods, trees, creeks, the whole 9 yard.
Yeah.
And so I go through the backyards with no fences, no alleys or anything. It was just
This is
one.
nighttime.
This is nighttime, probably like 9 o'clock at night.
Oh my God.
And,
you can imagine you're in flight mode when you get the extra
the adrenaline.
endorphins.
I
and
ran the-
adrenaline.
I outran
You're
the guy.
freaking out.
I outran the guy. And anyway, I'm running. I ran across 3 backyards. I ran in front of my friend because he was underneath a bush. He did a slide underneath the bush and just stayed there. So
How'd
he
you
was
know he was there?
because when I finally came out, he came out, and we were like, "Holy shit!" So anyway, I go screaming across this yard, and then I'm just like, "Where am I going to go?"
Right.
So I just take a 90-degree turn and I dive into the woods, and
To hide.
just to hide, I dove head first into the woods. I did like this, and as soon as you hit the back of the yard, there was a drop off.
Oh my God.
So it dropped off probably 10 feet.
Got impaled by a
And you
stump.
like dove off the edge?
I dove off of it
Head first.
head first, And I didn't get very far because I got tangled up into some trees. And I was laying
He looked
there,
like the Family Guy character that
and
falls
I
down
was
the
I was
stairs,
I was all in black,
arm backwards.
right? And I was all in black,
Yeah.
and I was
You dressed like
laying
Steven
there.
Seagal.
I was lying. Yes, I was. I was laying on my back, and I still had the bag in my hand, and I was laying there. And the guy stopped. He didn't follow me in the woods, and he was probably 6 feet away from me, a few feet up, and he was leaning on a tree, and he was yelling, "If I ever catch you, you fucking son of a bitch, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna break your neck off." The whole 9 yards.
Could he see you?
No, he didn't know where I was at.
Okay.
I was right below him, about 6 feet away.
And you're
Tangled
trying
up-
to hold your breath. You're like,
I was like
oh
this.
my God.
And he yelled for about 5 minutes. I mean, just screaming into the woods. And I was like, he's going to look down. He's going to see me. And what the hell am I going to do?
And then what? Kill you?
I don't know. He probably would have been like, where do you live? I'm talk to you. I don't know what he would have done. So he eventually gave up and went back.
had butt sex with you.
And
Oh God.
I'll
Really?
teach you.
so I laid there probably for 20 minutes. Going,
Yeah.
maybe he's just hiding up there waiting for me to come out.
Right.
So I laid there for about 20 minutes at least. And in that meantime, the neighbor that was kind of way back, I start seeing flashlights through
Yeah.
the
Like
woods.
what the hell's going on out
Yeah,
there?
so there was flashlights going through the woods. I was like, fuck this. Now the neighbors are out searching the woods, going, what's this racket going on?
Right.
So finally I get up enough nerve, and I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. So I go up, and I go into the woods a little bit more and come out in a different area.
Right.
And,
Brilliant.
and at that time, my friend saw me, and he comes out, and he's like, I mean, of course, we were just all
Freaking
amped
out.
up. We were
So
like,
this was nighttime, and he saw you.
yeah, he didn't know who I was, though.
So what time is this?
Probably about 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Oh, this is early.
Yeah, but it's dark out.
Yeah.
This time of
Yeah.
year, it's dark out.
Crazy.
And so he goes like, I was under that bush and I saw both of you run by. He goes, it was so fast. I don't think I've ever, and I outran this guy. Again, he probably would have caught me if I would have kept going straight.
Right.
But, I was 10 or 11 years old outrunning this guy, and he had a brand new baby. Several months later,
No.
we run into him. We were out in the street playing, and he finally comes out and we start talking. He didn't know who I was or what we were.
Right. He didn't know you were the evil kid
No.
that woke up the baby.
He broke his window.
And we were talking to him. He was
Yes.
really, really cool guy. He was like I said, like late 20s. And we finally admitted, hey, remember back in October? I think it was the following summer.
Yeah.
And he's like, was that you? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, I was ready to break your neck. We had a brand new baby, and they had just fallen asleep.
Oh.
And then you did that and woke him up. So that's why he was so pissed
Pissed. Oh yeah.
off. So
he
was,
was probably about to, his kid just went to bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like, all right.
Keep in mind he's
all
sleep-
right,
he's-
baby.
Yes.
It's my time.
Oh
before
yeah.
you
Well,
fall
it could have been that, and it could have been just sleep deprived, man. You remember how
No.
bad
Oh, I
that
know.
was?
Oh, I know.
Man, you go 3 weeks without sleeping, and
Yeah.
it'll make anybody crazy.
Right. And he even commented, he goes, I was surprised you, because he was like, yeah, I ran sprints in high school. He goes,
Yeah.
I was the fastest guy in school. And he goes, I probably would have caught you, but, and I told him.
Oh
I
yeah,
told
but you
him
were like, it's like E.T. You
Adrenaline.
guys were like jumping
Fucking,
over
he's
shit. and-
10 years old. I would have caught your ass.
the adrenaline, not the fast.
well,
man.
not when you're zipping between homes and
Yeah,
jumping
I was
under
doing
this.
this, and I was trying to.
zigging and zagging and
Yeah.
jelly pudding
Yeah.
popping.
oh
I
really?
was, and like I said,
you were Bill
I
Cosby.
dove head
That was
first.
during that time.
I was surprised I didn't get impaled in something because
No
I
shit.
was just. I ended up on my back somehow.
That is insane.
Yeah.
You
Laying
have no
in a-
idea how hurt you
in
could have
some
gotten.
ant
Yeah,
book.
didn't get hurt at all. Didn't get a scratch.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
But-
cool.
Anyway, that was the last time we did it actually. So
Smart.
We were like, all right, that was close. We're done, kind of a thing.
There we go. Good. Well, good for that guy for stopping you guys from many
Right.
more years of
Right.
criminal mischief.
Right.
So how long was it from when you did that until you had a conversation where he knew it?
It was several months because it was warmer out because we were out in the street playing football or something like that. And he came out and started talking with us and stuff like that. And once we talked to him for a while, we kind of admitted what happened, and he wasn't pissed off anymore, obviously, but
Of course.
we
that you know of.
well, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he was new. We never actually saw him again after
He
that.
was probably, he probably worked for a temp service that would delegate jobs, and he was like, "Yeah,
Put him in the-
I'm gonna track this
Jeff,
kid.
Jeff. I remember this guy.
8 years later, 9
8
years
years
later.
Yeah, remember
I'm
me?
gonna put you in the middle of
You don't remember
Kansas
me, but
City.
I remember you, you little prick.
You son of a
My
bitch.
kid still never went to sleep. He's terrorized.
Yeah.
And now you're working in a tire factory.
And
How
now my
about
wife
that?
can't eat corn.
Yeah. So that was again. That's what we did. We tic-tacked and what do we soaping windows.
What the hell?
was another thing?
Man, a
Soaping
tic-tac.
windows?
What is that called? What night is it? Damage night, tic-tac, and soapy windows. You got to tell
Wait, so
me,
you-
what
so
the
you
hell's a soapy window?
Yeah, so you squirt.
No, that's
You
that's
walking
where
around with
you
a
get a
5-gallon Home Depot bucket?
no. That's where you get a bar of soap and you just kind of scribble on the windows of the cars.
Oh, come on.
That's not as bad as egging, because
Yeah.
egging is
It ruins your paint. and
it
stuff
ruins
like
your
that.
paint.
Yeah.
It 100% ruins your paint.
Yeah. So again, did we do that once or twice? Probably, but it wasn't a main. We didn't do it very. Tic-tacking was it.
Yeah, well, soapy windows sounds kind of odd. I mean, I've soapy windows.
It's not soapy. It's soaping.
Soapy.
So you just have a bar of
and you just write on the windows.
Irish
Spring.
spraying. You just you can write boobs or something like that on there, but it's usually just squiggly lines, and you just move on. It's more of a pain in the ass.
I don't think I've ever done that. Now, I've taken shit and put on windows.
What? And
Why-
you talk about
Like
me
human
with
feces?
an egg
What? Where would I get human feces from?
out of your
Your
butt?
asshole.
You think I'm going to be trolling through the toilet to get that? No.
No,
Well, you squat in front of their house and you pick it up with your hand and sling it
No,
on
there
the
was this
window.
you
one
threw
time-
shit at their house.
There was this one time
That's what fucking monkeys do.
where I had
and
a
he was giving me grief. about
garbage
eggs.
Yeah.
bag.
He's shitting on
It
their
was a
yards.
paper garbage bag, and I was
There
like
we
this
go.
piping hot, large German Shepherd poop, and everybody knows how large those things are. They're like monuments. I ended up
I've
picking
got
this.
several in my backyard.
It was Mr. Rothenstein. Mr. Rothenstein, you're a jerk for not giving us our ball back, and for that, I was the guy that wiped that German Shepherd's poop on your windshield. I'm the guy.
Wow. You owned it. You owned up to it?
That was 1983.
You think he's still alive?
Did he shoot you?
No, it was in the middle of the night.
What's a salt gun?
See? Oh, yeah.
That was in
You're
Germany.
one to talk.
I
You're
know.
running through farmland getting shot at by farmers.
Come on, man. That wasn't my fault.
Really?
Yeah. All right. So, I remember that
I never did any of
an
that.
extension of that living in Germany. Germany's got to be some of the funnest Halloweening I've ever done because there were so many. Can you imagine an apartment complex?
Isn't that where Dracula is over there? Very close to that anyway. Transylvania.
Yes, it is. He was
yeah.
in the subdivision next to yours, wasn't he?
Well, we're in Texas, so
Dracula.
it would be about the
Vlad.
same as it being in like Florida. But
God.
so imagine how Halloween is here. So we're in a community. You're in a community. You
Yes.
basically walk up and down a few select streets, right?
Right.
But you know how an apartment complex is. Well, you got the whole community, right?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine living in a very uniform. Apartment complexes in neighborhoods are
Like
very
projects
organic. No, I'm just saying. Perhaps what I'm
where they're
getting-
very just
like right now they
They're
are
cookie
very
cutter.
organic, very organic. The way the layout of the apartment complex is. When military housing is very uniform. They've
Correct.
got one house
And they all
after
look the
a
same.
building after another,
Right.
building after
No
another.
creativity.
Yeah, like the projects is kind of a good
Right.
example
Right.
of it. So you have these repeat houses, and you've got a bunch of them. So you in each building is like 5 stories tall. So in 3 stairwells. So there's like, what is that? I don't know. Do the math on that.
a whole bunch.
A bunch. So, you got either side, left, right. So that's 10, 20. You got 30 families in a building, and there's hundreds of buildings. Okay? Maybe not hundreds, but a bunch of buildings.
Okay.
It is a bunch because you have all 10 of those families contributing to each stairwell's candy fund. And you'd go by, and you would literally go hit like 3 or 4 buildings,
And you would
you'd be full.
clean up.
You would. There's not. It was probably the most exciting
Yeah, but it was like a bunch of licorice and Swedish fish, though, probably, right?
Yeah,
man,
Swedish
some
fish.
of the no, yes, there was that, but they also had like it was all the imagine the German chocolates they have. I mean, there were so many crazy stuff that the German offered, and it was it's got to be some of my best Halloween experiences as far as the quality.
Well, don't you
of
look
candy.
for some of that food, some of those candies down at Kubi's?
Oh, I love it. I have some in my drawer right now.
Kubi's?
Kubi's.
Kubi's is a. It used to be a restaurant and shop, but after COVID, I think they shut down the restaurant, which is unfortunate. And in fact, we need to go hit a German.
How about we do it Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday?
What's that?
Hit Kubi's on the way to Kennedy's.
Well, dipshit won't be here, so
Kennedy's? What
Oh,
are you talking about? Kennedy's?
no, he doesn't need that.
Kennedy sausage.
Sausage.
Oh. Oh, as soon as I leave town, that's when you guys
We
start.
planned this like 6 months ago.
Oh. Oh, okay.
6 months
Huh?
ago.
I see how that works. Oh, that's cool. I don't know.
So
Continue with your great
the
story.
Halloween thing in Germany was extremely exciting. I'm
Yes.
telling you, because there were so many families and there were so many kids out.
Right.
I mean, and there
Did
wasn't.
you get lucky?
I wasn't that old. I wasn't old enough to appreciate stuff like that.
So you're like 6?
When you say lucky,
Yeah, were we referring to?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
What?
What
What's
exactly?
the candy?
Okay, so with the candy, you know
Oh.
what's crazy is that back then it was cool to get the candy cigarettes, and do you know what the candy
yes.
cigarettes
Oh,
are?
yeah, those were great.
We got them.
Yeah, there was a bubble gum with a little powdered sugar.
I like the
then you-
chocolate ones.
Ours were just like
They
sugar
were chocolate
sticks.
cigarettes.
They were just like hard sugar that you would eat.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, giving your kids candy cigarettes.
They call them candy sticks now.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's them.
Yeah, we had the chocolate cigarettes, and they were so good.
I never had the chocolate ones, but they looked. They have one end that was brown for the filter,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And-
we felt so cool.
and you
Oh,
walk
yeah.
around going
Oh, we felt so cool.
smoking.
And then you rubbed off the filter, and you were like, "That tastes really good," and you ended up shoving the whole thing in your mouth.
No, it didn't
Yeah.
last long.
Yeah,
So.
they basically look like joints now.
Nice.
Yeah, King's cigarettes.
I don't remember the brand. That must have been it. I don't know.
God, I tell you, I mean, I wonder how what smoking is. I mean, what is the ratio of how many people intend smoke? Is it one? How many? What is the ratio of
I have no
smokers
idea.
nowadays?
Well, I mean, now I think vaping is,
Well,
encroaching on that.
Let's not do that. Let's just do the.
I know that vaping is still an epidemic among
Well,
the.
vaping. I don't know if it's quite as bad, but it's still bad for you.
Well, it's horrible for you, and it's
Yeah.
an epidemic among the teenagers.
Yeah, it's
So it
bad
says
for you.
14 of every 100 adults in 2019.
So 14%.
yeah,
Smoke cigarettes.
yeah. So but current smoking has declined from 20.9%, nearly 21 of every adult in 2005 to 14% in 2019.
Yeah, but
So
that's-
it is on the decline.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like a very big drop in 20. What is it? 15 years?
Well, it went from 20%. It went from 20%. It's 6 points.
6 points. I would think it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I would think.
What was
it'd
it back in the 50s or the 60s?
be- It was
I
97%.
was gonna say I think everyone smoked back.
I think it was a mandate.
Well, it's cool. Yeah, it was
It's
mandated.
kind of like a vaccine mandate.
Well,
it was a
well,
Joe Biden-
cigarette mandate.
Well,
It-
Joe Biden was in the
but it
Senate
wasn't-
back then.
Yes, he
so-
was back in the
It
Senate,
wasn't
and he is
cancerous
the one
back
that
then.
made the cigarette mandate.
Yeah, he was old enough. It wasn't cancerous back then. The
Bastard.
general surgeon said it was okay.
Yeah.
Right? No, they said it
In
was.
fact, pregnant
they said it
mothers
was
are
a-
welcome to smoke.
They said it was required.
The only
for good
place
health.
it was
With a mask on.
the only place it was
Right.
remotely bad. Even like people were like, I don't know, was California. And now everything gives you cancer in California.
Everything is.
Yeah.
Well, my mom
Needles.
smoked my whole life until she fell and got cancer, broke her hip. But and then I hid her cigarettes on her, and she couldn't get up and get them, so she kind of cold turkeyed it. But she smoked her entire life,
God
Mm,
damn.
so I grew up with it.
That's some serious shit.
That
you realize
sucks.
Is that
Meaning
what
you
it
were in the
was?
car?
is that what it took?
That's what I did to her. Yeah,
And that worked.
as far as I know.
Well, what about your dad? He was like,
He didn't
he would
smoke.
come home and be like, and she'd be like,
Well, they didn't live together at the time.
That freaking Jeff, he took my cigarettes, and I help I fall, and I can't get up, and that son of a bitch.
I don't
and he
think
made
he
me
would
all
buy
these
them for her.
ashtrays.
So is your mom from New York?
She was.
Okay.
No, she was a hillbilly from northern Kentucky.
ding, 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 ding.
So were you that kid that was in the back seat with the windows up, smoke just
Yeah.
billowing out of the car?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
From
Shelley,
cigarettes to
my wife-
tires.
my-
With that.
Well,
Yeah.
my wife was that kid too.
Yeah. I
All
can't
of them
stand the smell of smoke
smoking with
now.
her, and here's this little girl in the back seat. I mean, can
But you
imagine
don't know any
that?
better back then.
Well, no.
You know what?
I
Come
didn't. I grew
on.
up with it.
How can you not know better?
Yeah, well, maybe not. But you know what the thing is that there was a campaign for you to do it.
I know it.
Yeah.
And you know what, frankly, is it's a little bit different nowadays. I want to say because they started adding nicotine. There's a spray. You know, you ever seen the tobacco come across the conveyor belt, and they were actually spraying nicotine on top of these.
No.
Oh yeah, that was the thing
Oh, to make it more addictive.
to make it more addictive.
To make
Absolutely.
it more addictive.
And I don't know when that started,
Those
but I mean,
bastards.
yeah, they were
And they're
spraying
still
tobacco
making money
on,
hand
or
over
spraying
fist.
nicotine on tobacco.
Well, the thing is, if smoking cigarettes totally go away, that's a huge loss of revenue for the government.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
Yeah,
a
but-
huge tax.
But you know what? Well,
just
okay,
like a vaccine.
it's a huge tax.
maybe that's why they need
It's
to
a poor
compensate.
man. They say it's a poor man's tax. So the folks who don't pay any taxes, they're big smokers,
Right.
right? So
You-
they say that's how they're getting some of the
Producer, you need
taxes.
to word that differently.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I get
Right.
that.
So, and I think a lot of the
That's
tax,
the way they get their money from the poor people.
well, look,
well, I don't know
the
if it's
smoking
intended, but that's what's happening.
It's happening, right.
it's a bad thing all the way around. Look, the tobacco to
And
grow
from
those
lottery
tobacco
tickets.
plants. You know, it takes a lot of real estate to grow those tobacco plants.
Right.
You know, it's ridiculous. They need to do something other than tobacco, something more conducive to. I mean, tobacco is easy because it's a fucking weed.
Right.
You know, it just grows. And frankly, there's just I've never had an appreciation for cigarettes. There are some people out there that have.
Oh, I
It's
know.
like they wake
I've
up and like,
tried the cigarette,
oh, I
and
can't,
I
I'm
can't stand it.
so
I did a one and done just to
Yeah, I
Just
tried it.
cross that off my list, and I knew I was not going to be a
It tastes like shit.
tastes like shit.
Made
And
me feel
Yeah.
like crap.
even I had a cigar,
I had a cigar too.
and I couldn't even finish it. It was like so nasty to me.
Then you wake up the next morning.
Oh God, I had like rot mouth.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah.
So gross.
CTS.
Now vaping, I have not tried, nor will I. But that is a out of control situation.
Yeah. Then you also have the hookah lounges.
Ah, the hookah. lounge.
Anything like that where you get side stream smoke. I mean, clubbing, being in bars. I mean, it's just
It's called secondhand. Would you call it
What-
side stream?
yeah, side stream.
Yeah, secondhand smoke.
What,
Those-
so what
Well, side
exactly?
stream.
What is the difference between hookah and vape? Is there a
well,
difference?
hookah's real smoke,
It's real smoke.
I believe, isn't it?
I don't. That doesn't sound right.
Isn't it? Isn't it like a? It's like a big community. I don't want to say a bong. It's a hookah.
But they don't have something in there that's been lit on fire.
I believe so.
I don't.
I've never been, so these are all assumptions.
All right. Well, here we go.
It's hash,
Well, vape is
shisha tobacco.
Here we go.
right?
Here we
vape
go.
is
Where smoking hookah involves heating
it's a
shisha
juice.
tobacco.
Yeah.
Heating. Okay.
Well, it's there's a
No.
juice that's vaporized.
and, inha-
You
and,
inhale the vape.
No,
and inhaling it through a hookah pipe. Vaping includes using a vaping device to
Yeah.
heat e-liquid or vape juice on a
Correct.
heating coil and inhaling the vapor that is produced.
So it's a specific tobacco that they're using.
So, well, hold on. That didn't answer the question. So it's not smoke? Like hookah is not smoke then?
No, hookah is smoke.
Okay, it's smoke.
Yeah, you're burning something and you're smoking the off of that
And
shit you're burning.
You're inhaling the smoke.
Now, the
Okay.
vaping is taking an electrical charge and heating
That's a
something up
hookah.
until it produces a vapor, and then you're inhaling that vapor from the electrical charge burning the liquid. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right. So here it says it's a water pipe. Oh, you had it.
What is it called?
It's
I
a-
call it side stream smoke. What did you call it?
Secondhand smoke.
I mean, I've heard that, but I don't ever call it secondhand smoke. I always call it side
Secondhand
stream.
smoke is what they said is like is more damaging than the actual smoking the cigarette because it's unfiltered smoke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying side stream smoke is the same thing as secondhand smoke.
Okay. All right. So hookah come in many shapes, sizes, styles, but the basic parts and functionality is same across all of them. When smoking a hookah, the smoke itself is generated at the top of your hookah in a hookah bowl, passes down through the hookah stem
Really? Do we need to
into-
break this down?
I'm just trying
You're
to
lighting shit and you're
so it's
fucking
literally
inhaling it.
so
It
it's
is-
literally smoke. It's
Yeah.
not vapor.
No, there's no vapor involved. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So it's awful for you.
You might as well take a campfire and just like inhale it.
Well,
I mean-
it says it's a wet tobacco soaked in glycerin, molasses, or honey and flavoring.
That's disgusting.
So they soak it in some kind of flavoring juices.
And we've got one right down the street, a
And
hookah
it's-
bar.
and it's packed.
Yeah, it is.
And it is a massive hit among the Indian community.
Sure, it is.
It seems like it'd be a cesspool of communicable diseases.
I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah.
don't the hookah lounges, don't they have like the big hookah in the middle and you sit around and you all kind of
Yeah, and there's
smoke
like-
it together, right?
Yeah, there's like 6 different things coming off of it and
Like a tentacles.
tentacles. And then
Yes.
everybody sucks on the smoke together.
Yeah.
And then is it like a big orgy after that, or is it just they just
I
hang
don't know
out?
if it makes them high. I don't think it does that,
So
does
it's
it?
not a sex shop,
Tobacco makes people high.
Well, when you first do it.
Oh,
right?
I mean,
I
but
mean,
it
nicotine
does.
affects you. I don't think it's not like a pot high.
Right.
Not as. I
Well,
mean,
they get giggly.
No, my
they,
mom was never high.
no.
they got buzzy. They got buzzy.
Well,
You can get a buzz from nicotine, right? You can get a buzz from smoking.
I think a buzz is
You can
one
get
thing.
definitely get a buzz from cigars.
It's definitely a different buzz from smoking THC.
Correct.
Of course, it's not
But
marijuana.
you still get buzzed. You get lightheaded,
Yeah,
and
you're not high. You're buzzed.
And you
You're
Jones for
buzzed.
the cigarettes too.
What?
You start jonesing for a cigarette too. You if you don't have one,
You get the
you start craving it.
start
God,
craving
I'm
it,
glad I
yeah.
don't have to deal with that shit. Yeah, I'll tell you what. When I was when we were talking about being 15, and at that time, I remember going to junior high, and I went through a phase where I was smoking cigarettes. Had the Levi's jacket on, had the Marlboro cigarettes in the
Did you have
front.
the cigarette rolled up in your arm sleeve?
That was in the 50s. I did the Levi's jacket where it's in the front pocket like a normal person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you pack their cigarettes?
Oh, yeah. I never understood what the fuck that was all about either. But I used to do it. Pap, 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 pap.
And everybody was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, his technique is so good.
All the girls was like, "Oh, Shawnee smokes a
Dude.
cigarette.
He's so dreamy.
Oh, he's doing his cigarette thing again." Pop, 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 pop.
Jeez.
Marlboro. So, yeah, I had
What
some
you-
Marlboro
did you,
cigarettes.
Did you do Marlboro Reds or Camels?
It was Marlboro.
Or
Reds.
menthol.
You know, I did do Camel non-filters for a small period of time, and later on, like in my like early 20s. But when I was like 15, junior high, I remember skipping school and going right at the corner and smoking a cigarette. I wouldn't skip the whole class. I would be late for my class because I'd run down, smoke a cigarette with a couple friends. And I remember there's always a police officer / social worker that was on at every school, you know?
Right.
And I
We
remember
didn't have that.
he well, that's because you have a white community. I was Mexican, so they had one at ours.
What are you saying?
Exactly what I said. That's white privilege. You can get away with shit there. So they, I remember we're coming back onto the school property, and he shows up, and he was just like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Like, and I was
Oh,
like,
so he's also Mexican.
"Oh, this was
man.
this was in El Paso." So we show up, and he's just like, what are you guys doing? And I was just like, "Oh, we're just taking a walk, and we're running a little late. We're trying to get to the store and back." And he grabs my hand and smells it.
Ooh. Did he go?
Oh, so he's got like a young boy thing going on.
Ooh. He smells. It smells.
I
like
was trying to think of
Did you
what
take
was
your
that?
pants
Is
down?
that
You dropped your pants right in front of him.
This like smells like urine.
He's
He's like, "Oh, that's good.
Come here, little boy."
God, you're nasty.
You did two of the stink this time, didn't you?"
Oh,
You are
come
nasty.
on. Why?
He takes it too far.
You
Now, what are you
do.
talking about? You're the one with the
Takes
dirty
too far.
Sanchez.
We were talking
going
about
in-
tic tacking. What the hell were you talking about?
I know. I'm talking about corn.
So he
Hey, you're talking
smells.
about throwing corn against a fucking window.
He smells the cigarettes.
And what are you doing the stink?
He
What did you
smells
say?
the cigarettes. He was like, "I can
God
smell the cigarettes. You know,
almighty.
right now I can expel you from this."
Or we can work out a deal.
Give me the
What, you
cigarettes.
take it too far. I mean,
No,
there's this
really?
line. What,
Look
what
at
kind
you. You
What
can
kind of
put-
deal you talking about?
you can
we
put-
can take it a deal.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh man, are you ready over there? I guess not. Anyway, so
What was that?
I don't know. Are you marking?
I don't know. Never mind.
I think he's marking.
No, I'm not marking anything.
He's spraying.
No.
Marking his territory. Anyway, go ahead.
No. Well, so anyways, I was just like,
The cop caught you and sniffed your fingers.
no, he was a school cop. He did. He sniffed my finger. Well, I don't remember. There was no real point after that, but it was just odd. It was because he grabbed my hand, he smelled my fingers.
Well,
and I was
yeah,
kinda
he's trying to
we're
bust
talking
you.
about the smelling of cigarettes and stuff, and I remember that was kind of the thing. And who would think of that? Who would think of that? You know, when your kid comes home and you're like, have you been smoking? I kind of smell, but if they kind of dress up or they kind of wash it
Yeah.
off, change clothes, whatever. But it's
Their
really it
hands.
stinks on the hands.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it goes into your skin. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cigarette smoke's nasty. Again, I grew up with it, so I didn't notice it. But I notice it today when someone's smoking. It's I don't know if I'm extra sensitive to it or what,
It's
but it's
obvious.
it's something I have a hard time
And I tell you what,
smelling now.
I can smell marijuana a mile away.
No, that's a skunk.
Oh, it's a skunk.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, I can.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is a really long distance.
Okay. 4 feet. I can smell it very strongly within 4 feet.
Straight out of the pipe.
I mean, that's a Marvel hero. I mean, I'm not sure, but Paul can tell you where he's at. Hold on a second. Paul,
right.
they're gonna hire
He's
you.
They would
their
not-
new drug
If
dog.
that were true, they would not need drug dogs.
Right.
They just have me.
Over there 3 miles.
So I remember we went to some basketball tournament and we were in a hotel, a really shady hotel. Right? You know my history of hotels.
Oh, yeah, we
Of
definitely
booking,
do.
of picking hotels.
Speaking of, do we have hotel lined up?
No, we do not. I told you guys I'm not doing it. So you guys have to pick one.
What do you mean? Just because you say you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it?
That's exactly what I
No,
said.
no.
I'm not going to be responsible for chalk lines in your room.
All right, well, here's the thing.
Why not?
Since
You
we're
already
talking-
are.
All right, so, okay,
You're still
hold on.
gonna get
Back up.
blamed.
First off,
Well,
Bailed.
he sells what?
he bailed.
I thought you said he sells.
Now I've got 2 tickets that I'm stuck with. That's another thing I'm never doing again. Buying all the tickets ahead of time by myself.
All right, stop. Let's. How many tickets do we currently have?
We have 8.
How many people are going?
3.
Three.
I haven't even gotten a confirmation, but I think 6.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
Well, there's at least 3 going.
We'll compensate you. We'll make it right.
You already paid.
Well, that's not my point. My point is that we'll compensate you. Did I pay for 2 or 1?
Just 1.
Well, who else could go?
Let's see, Barry, Jerry.
What about any of your kids?
Harry.
Dylan? Would he be interested?
Why don't you call Linda?
Call Linda. Have her fly out for this concert. She probably would love
Why
to.
not? Yeah. Aren't we supposed to be coming up to our halftime thing anyways?
No, we should be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I was I was thinking of inviting Joe.
There you go.
Joe would go.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, stop. So anyways, when is this thing?
It's
November 11th?
12th, Friday.
It's a Friday.
It is Friday.
Okay. So
I don't think we're going to get a hotel inside the casino. 'cause
No,
those
it's
are
too
extremely
expensive.
expensive.
But we get one in
but
Durant,
did Andrea say she has some contacts?
No,
She does not.
no.
and I check with my
Where did
contact.
she say she did?
She
She's-
did, but it got nowhere.
Oh, okay. And yours got nowhere.
They do not discount.
Choctaw is very stingy.
They do not discount.
all right. So we have 8 guys, and we need to secure 4 rooms.
That's typically what would happen.
Yeah.
But I know some people don't want to stay. They're just going to go home that night, which I think is a horrible idea.
Well, whatever. So why don't we take care of us? So we're going to go to Choctaw, and we're going to go see a concert. And who are we going to go see?
Sticks.
We're going to go see Styx. Who else is going?
Collective Soul.
There you go.
Are you sure?
That
That was on the Styx website. It said
Because when
Styx
we
with
come-
Collective Soul.
Because, yeah, but that's still ambiguous.
No,
but-
is it Collective Soul 6? That still doesn't sound
but-
right.
But what's strange is we saw Foreigner in Choctaw, and there was no opening show. They played for 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
That doesn't mean Styx has to do that.
Well, that's crap.
I don't know.
I'm already
Well-
voicing my displeasure.
You don't want to see Collective Soul?
I don't even know who they are really.
They have like
They have like 2 or 3
hits.
songs. That's
Yeah.
it.
So they're gonna play 2 or 3
They're
songs.
kind
and
of a
then
Stone
six-
Temple Pilots
extended
kind of thing.
version. No, they're not.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No.
It's
It's
Stone.
that same time period, but
Isn't it Stone Temple Jam?
It's alternative rock.
it's purple. That's Pearl Pilots.
Right.
you go.
They all sounded the same back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just one big spooge stain.
Right.
All right.
Side stream smoke, secondhand smoke. You guys have. We'll be back in just a few moments. We're gonna prepare the next sample of bourbon. Halloween weekend coming up. Football fantasy style.
We'll talk about that second half.
Backdoor butt hair.
And I got a big time elk hunt coming up. How about that? Suck on it.
We can talk
Fuck
about
your
that
butt.
too.